politics of things, because, you know, the United States is more like Nazi Germany today than ever before, and it's really spooky, and we're going to get into that today. And we're also going to get into Putin's warning. I mean, he just warned the media. He said, guys, just so you know, the world's kind of at a place where you can't turn it back, and we need to pay attention to this. And the media is focusing more, which we're also going to talk about, on race riots and a race war, and trying to get this agenda pushed forth, which is, oh, we got to take the guns away because, you know, there was one sniper that killed a bunch of police officers, and that means we got to take everybody's guns away, even though I can't tell you how many suicides are related to prescription pills. I can't tell you how many suicides are related to knives and tubs, and we don't see the government coming around and saying we need to make sure that you have a licensed tub. So today we're going to talk about a lot. And what got me started on this little breadcrumb trail was, well, you know, I'm very passionate about finding what I really should talk about, and I do a lot of praying, and I know a lot of people that that watch the things that I share, that not everybody believes in God, and that's fine. I mean, I think we can all agree that there is a life force that we are all connected to, and let's just call that God for now. I know that that's going to even upset some religious people, but I mean, we have to find common ground because we are all linked spiritually. You know, the spirit that is in us all. And I like to, I personally am very faithful, and I spend a lot of time praying because I want to make sure that what I'm sharing is what the world needs. And so the other day, about 4 days ago, I was deep in prayer, and I was saying, you know, what is it that I need? What is it? I was meditating, and I was falling asleep at the same time, and I kept praying and meditating, and I kind of fell into a sleep. And then this little dream started, and all of a sudden I had my phone on me, and it buzzed, and it woke me up. And I looked down at the phone, and I got a Facebook message from a new viewer, and it said, "Some breadcrumbs for you." When I was dreaming, I was told about a sea breeze country and how it was impending. And so I woke up with this thought that I needed to look up sea breeze and a country and impending doom. At that moment, I got this little vibration, this little Facebook message that "Some breadcrumbs for you." So we're going to talk about that because, ironically, there's a huge exercise going on right in the Black Sea there called Sea Breeze. It's a big to-do, and Russia's not too thrilled about it. So the fact that I fell asleep thinking about this, and I look it up, and we're talking within weeks, I think that there's something going on. We're going to talk about a lot, so get ready. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that back in May, I did a video about, and I titled it, "Media is Inciting Riots." Whatever happens in the coming days, I want you to pay attention because you're going to hear the news talking about riots, and it's going to start happening everywhere. I guarantee you, not because I'm a psychic, not because I'm a prophet, but because I'm watching the signs of the times. You know, because I had seen that this script was playing out, you know, the script of Hillary and Trump, and, you know, and I had said in the video that all the world's a stage, and if you know anything about politics, it is just a show to make everybody believe that they have some kind of choice, and we really don't. We're living in a very controlled world. I mean, there are cameras everywhere. Even the phone that you carry around in your pocket is a recording device. Edward Snowden revealed that our own government is spying on everyone. We have that in common with Nazi Germany, but there are a lot of other things that are really spooky about Nazi Germany that I wanted to point out. Nazi Germany was as big brother as it gets. It was a police state that just constantly monitored, but they had no idea how the United States would be. I mean, the United States makes Germany look very, very much minor league. I mean, we are totally controlled. And to say that we have free speech in Germany, you know, they had no free speech. They had no right to speak up against everything. If you talk about something that is, you know, what does the list say? Anti-global, suspicious of federal authority, reverent of individual liberties, believes in conspiracy theories, a belief that one's person's or national way of life is under attack, a belief in the need to be prepared, imposing strict religious tenets or fundamentalist religious believers. You go on a watch list, not to mention if you're anti-abortion or anti-Catholic or anti-nuclear. I'll say it again. I want to be very, very clear. I am not about revolution in the world. I'm about a revolutionized thinking. I'm about love. And the fact that we are getting closer to Nazi Germany than ever before is spooky. Do you know that Nazi Germany, women and children were dehumanized like they were cattle, you know, and that happens in the schools today. You see children basically demoralized, women are demoralized. Under Adolf Hitler, there was massive increases in government spending. I mean, we have more government spending than anyone else, and it's all about, you know, the military. Nazi Germany, if you conducted business outside of the socialist paradigm, you were heavily, you know, taxed or attacked for it. Just think about raw milk, you know, and what the FDA has done to them. Under Hitler, free market capitalism was absolutely hated. Same thing today. It's all about big business. You know, the corporations and the banks, they're the ones that are really running things. Nazi Germany, the healthcare system was taken over by the government. Anybody remember Obamacare? In Nazi Germany, education was nationalized and God was kicked out of school. That's been done. Do you know today there are children right now that are, they're suspended if they kind of hand out a Bible verse, or if they wear a t-shirt, or if they bring a Bible into school. Under Hitler, God was mocked and religion was pushed out of every corner of the public. And we see that happening all the time. From state buildings, government buildings to, you know, just everywhere. And I want to point out something really spooky just went down in Russia too, where, do you know that it is now illegal for anyone to evangelize outside of church? So you can't go to someone and say, hey man, your life's a mess. You know, maybe if you put yourself, your faith into something higher, you know, maybe if you found that there was another way, that we're all somehow uniquely linked and connected to a wonderful spiritual force that can give you life and hope and peace. You know, if you say that, you can be arrested now in Russia. And we're not too far off from that here in the States. Under Adolf Hitler, the state started taking over the job of childcare. That has happened. Anybody who has had an issue with CPS can tell you how scary it is when the state gets involved. You have no rights. Your children can be ripped away from you. Parents can't even parent the way they want to anymore. It is 100% just like it was in Nazi Germany here today. Under Adolf Hitler, society became so militarized Every single police station in the country right now is becoming militarized. And everybody, of course, under Adolf Hitler was paranoid. You don't want to speak out. You don't want to say anything, because if you did, you were in big, 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 big trouble. So we are close to that. We are close to that. And it started with something many, many years ago, spying, called Operation Chaos in 1969, where the CIA basically, started that program. And today, you know what we see today? We see, if you see something, say something. The government encourages people to tell on family members. Listen, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Maybe intentions are good, but we saw how the big one, which is gun control, we saw where that left Nazi Germany. The registry for guns, which is what they're pushing for right now, because of these riots, really left an entire country completely helpless, and that's what we're gonna see over the next couple of days, or over the next couple of weeks, and this is going to be the big talk. And I did say that this was going to happen. I did say that Hillary and Trump, that it was all a big show. Hillary, her mentor was a Grand Cyclops with the KKK, Senator Byrd. All you have to do is just YouTube that, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Even Clinton said, "Oh yeah, he came out. He was a big Klansman. He said he'd never served with Negroes, and he used the N-word like it was going out of style. And of course, he fought against civil rights and everything else. And of course, Hillary has called young blacks super predators. And I find it ironic that Trump isn't bringing all this stuff up, because it's like public record. I can only imagine that there's a reason that this is not being brought forth. And I would say because it's a big sham. It's a big show. It's not about who's going to be the best leader for the country. What it's about is, how can we keep the country distracted? And then how can we implement such chaos and such unrest? Because what's going to happen, as I said before, is that Hillary is going to come under more scrutiny again, and she's going to be let off again, and we're going to be angry about it, and the world is going to start to fall apart. Right now, you see factions growing. Everybody is talking about race wars. This is really something that has to stop, because the fact of the matter is, a majority of people of different races, they don't have a problem with the other race. We love each other. There is not some big brewing race war that is really going on, even though that is what the media wants you to believe. Now, what's really scary is that on the dark web right now, they're asking for like a day of rage where violent protests are going to break out and everything else. And who do you think is orchestrating this? Is orchestrating this. Jade Helm was just a year ago. Everything is set in place and ready to go. If we fall out of line, we're going to be put in line. Just go and Google the Georgia Guidestones and see what this elite plan is about. It's about control. Every aspect of our lives, from our faith to what we eat to how we exercise, and of course keeping the population under 500 million when we're 7 billion. The world is a mess right now. The world is a mess. And if you don't think that the powers that be, if you want to call them the Illuminati, if you don't think that they are using psychology and manipulation to get us all to follow their terrible, terrible scheme, because it's like a movie, it's like a book. I'm an author. I have a book. Look it up, Amazon.com. The link is below. Please support this book, because in the end of the book, it talks about this great big revolution that is coming. Ironically, it's a story. All the world's a stage, and we're being played. So if we don't follow the script, if we are peaceful and we don't allow, what we see on TV to manipulate us into acting a certain way, and we get more involved in the political process and we demand justice and fairness and equality, things can change. Things can change. We are the majority. And love is going to lead the way, not hate, not bias, not control, not fear. Because God is in control, whether you believe that or not. And God is love. And love will have its day. It's going to have its day. Obama, a while ago, created an executive order. It was about implementing behavioral science and behavioral modification into every area of the government. PSYOPs. It's an executive order. Don't be fooled. Seek the truth. You'll be given a breadcrumb, like the sea breeze exercise, which is going on right now. Putin made it very, very clear, people. Putin made it so clear. He said, what am I going to do to you? Why is your media not telling the world, the Western world, that we are at a point where there is no return? Why are you not horrified? Because of what's going on. From the South China Sea, with what just happened, where, China said, you know what, I'm sorry, we're going to defend it. I don't care if you say it's not our territory. With those islands that they turned into their little own base. To, the Black Sea and the Baltic Sea and Ukraine and could you imagine if another country came in and just basically took California away from us? We'd probably be a little upset too. Russia's not happy. And what we're doing is we're putting all of our military might along its borders. What do you think they're gonna do? You think they're gonna keep just sitting back and staying quiet? Right now they're playing it cool. But when I had that dream, that feeling that something impending was happening in a sea breeze country, and I looked it up and I typed in Google sea breeze Russia, and I saw that this exercise was about to go down, I felt like it was time to warn people. It was time to get people praying and get people thinking and get people lobbying. Give peace a chance. In any event, please do subscribe. I love you all. I hope that I didn't throw up any weird hand gestures. I've been getting criticized for that because I talk with my hands so much. Anyway,